Hello all. Since part 3 is out soon, I thought I'd talk about one of my favourite MCU films, Guardians of the Galaxy, with probably a side mention to Volume 2. I'm not going to beat about the bush with this one. I love this film. It is in my top 5 easily. It was a complete revelation to me actually. Whilst I knew of the characters individually, I didn't know much about the group. These were the Guardians of the Galaxy when I was growing up. So I went in with no expectations and a completely open mind, which was completely blown within the first 5 minutes. A very brief précis, which is actually quite difficult to do because now I think about it, it's a very complicated film. Peter Quill, or Star-Lord, is kidnapped as a child by a group of space pirates. They raise him as one of their own, and now an adult, he, along with a group of miscreants, are after a valuable artifact, but none of them have any idea that it's an Infinity Stone, an incredibly powerful weapon in the wrong hands. And they have to band together to stop it being used by a cultural and religious fanatic whose holy mission is genocide. Though I do feel Guardians of the Galaxy is responsible for the comedic turn in some other MCU films, I think it's mainly because other writers don't understand that Guardians isn't a comedy. They look at it on a very surface level. I mean, sure, there's lots of snappy dialogue and comedic moments, and unlike Volume 2, they all really hit for me. I remember hearing the Jackson Pollock joke in the cinema for the first time and being the only one laughing. But it's so much more than that. The pathos hits deep and it's allowed to breathe. It's not undercut by some dumb joke, which is something that Volume 2 is guilty of a couple of times. And man, does it really get you in the feels. The beginning is as traumatic as the first 10 minutes of Up. And there are so many beautiful moments when you discover more depth to these space a-holes and learn more about their tragic past. Genuinely, how 3 simple words can emotionally move you is just plain masterful. And when I found out where the name Star-Lord came from, to be honest with you, it broke me. It really did. I think I've probably said before, I love a film that makes you feel something, and boy, this really does. It's a cliche, but you laugh, you cry, and you're on the edge of your seat during the fantastic action scenes, which are visually stunning. And it has one of the things that draws me to comics and these kind of films in the first place, which is a true sense of heroism. It's a film about love and loss, family and sacrifice. And whilst I'm pretty sure none of us are space a-holes, we can connect to all of these things on a human level. Also, a quick mention about the soundtrack, which is an intrinsic part of the film, and it fits it perfectly. It doesn't inform emotion, it balances the action. Other films in the MCU have tried this. I'm looking at you, Captain Marvel. But in that it felt far less organic, far more like the music was just plonked on, and to me that was quite jarring, whereas in Guardians of the Galaxy it really isn't. It feels like an extra character. I had heard that Gunn wrote the scenes after deciding on the music, but that might just be one of those urban myths. There is rather a contentious scene in this film. I've never had a problem with it. It feels completely in character with the person concerned, and in character with the story and the situation. Others may differ on that one, but that's my feeling. Personally, I think that scene works really well. Unfortunately, Volume 2 is flawed, and I do wonder if it's because one of his writing partners, Nicole Perman, is absent. It's possible that she controlled some of his worst excesses, which are seemingly very evident in Volume 2. I mean, Drax has a drastic personality transplant, and some of the jokes really bomb hard. Even the emotional resonance doesn't work as well. But I still enjoy it. I still really enjoy it. But with that in mind, I'm not sure what I think about Part 3. Because this was one of the few films I was looking forward to, but the trailers aren't setting my world on fire, and recent MCU films have really dampened my enthusiasm. I don't think Gunn will fall into those same traps, and I don't think the studio will interfere with this film too much. So I really hope it's good. They're a really talented cast. They've all got charisma and charm, and they're capable of great work, so deserve a fantastic send-off. And whilst I'm hopeful, I'm also a bit cautious. I don't know what you guys are feeling about it. Are you looking forward to it, or do you have that similar feeling of nervousness? I guess time will tell because it's not long now, but I'm keeping everything crossed that this film hits me as hard as the first one and becomes one of my new favourites. The bottom half of my MCU list is filling up way quicker than the top half these days. Anyhow, I'll leave that there because I could wax lyrical about this film all night. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and peace out.